Since Malaysia is to be placed under a full lockdown from 1st to 14th of June, negative sentiment could be looming in the Bursa Malaysia stock market. So in this video, you will find out how you can potentially apply the buy on support strategy to these three Malaysia stocks and what you need to pay attention to, especially in this volatile market condition. All right, so let's get started now. The first stock is ANCOM. So at a first glance, ANCOM has been going on with an uptrend and following by a trading range. So this is a potentially reaccumulation trading range, and let me explain to you a bit further. So let's just zoom in to look at the range here. There is a spike of this volume that comes with the demand tail, suggested that demand come in, subsequently followed by subsequent of the test with a very low volume. And essentially, we notice that some supply has been decreasing as reflected in the volume pain here. So this is a rally to be expected. So this is potentially a sign of strength rally or a minor sign of strength rally, and that comes with aggressive demand. So you can see that volume has been expanding. However, it just can't commit above the resistance level, and eventually there is a increasing of the supply or consistent supply level that eventually push a price down. So that will actually prompt a test of the previous support level at about 1.37. So you can see that right after it tested this support level, it just sort of bounced up. However, I think the increasing of the supply level with the previous down wave is to be tested. So given that the bearish sentiment could be looming in Malaysia because of the total lockdown, so I actually anticipate some kind of the move down to actually test the previous support level at about 1.37 or even 1.4, somewhere around here. So anywhere close to the 1.37 or 1.4 support level could form a nice reward to risk entry. So if you can just form some sort of the reversal signal, tested, bouncing up, and we can anticipate at least a test of the previous resistance level at about 1.58. If it is very bullish, then I think it's even going to test a further upside target at about 1.75. So that is the where the supply emerge. Okay, so this is ANCOM. Just watch out for possible test of the previous support level because the negative sentiment could be looming. All right, so next stock is TASCO. Okay, so TASCO is on an uptrend here, a very strong uptrend. So you can see it just ramped up from about 25 cent all the way to about 1.4. So especially during this last move up here, so there is like a parabolic run up. So a parabolic run up, we definitely can expect some sort of the collapse, which happened right after the run up. So this is a collapse of the parabolic run up. And in this case, let's just zoom in a little bit of the volume right there. So let's focus on the volume here. So we can see that prior to the parabolic run up, there is definitely a reaccumulation range followed by a breakout, pullback at a high level, and eventually definitely this is a very sharp move up, creating the buying climax, and subsequently with the localized breakdown with an increasing of the supply level and supply spike as well in this bar, and subsequently there is a kind of a exhaustion of the supply as also reflected in the volume together with the shortening of the downward thrust. So this is a sign of the down momentum is fading, and eventually it did not really move up immediately. So it has another test of the downside. So another test that comes with a very low volume level. So this is indeed a very good sign. Subsequently, another test that form a higher low. And look at what happened next. So this is where the aggressive demand come in. So we see that demand come in to push the price up and breaking out of this immediate downtrend line and into moving into this resistance level and breaking out, backing up here. So definitely there is some continuation to the upside as we can see. So this is the upside movement, but it did not really go all the way back to test the previous resistance at about 1.44. So here comes another reaction down, and now I think it's just kind of hit at a very good support area. So like I say, next week could face some sort of the negative sentiment because of the full lockdown scenario. So what we can expect is definitely a reaction down. We need to see how it can just react right at this support area at about 1 to about 1.07. So if indeed there is some sort of buying come in right at this support level and some sort of the reversal signal up, then definitely I think it could form a very nice entry because the reward to risk ratio is relatively high. And if we just take a holistic view or a zoom out view, I do see a potential apex formation. So you can see that this support or the demand line of this symmetrical triangle or the triangle is just coincide with this support area. So definitely I think is a good area to go long if it just forms some sort of the reversal signal. However, we do need to pay attention, especially in this volatile period, given that there will be some sort of a negative sentiment around, and if this really cannot hold or fail, then we definitely need to cut loss if you just enter and it fails. Because once it fails, I think it's quite natural to for the price to go back to test the support level at probably 75 to 87 cents. Okay, so I think in this period, watching your stop loss and just stick to your trading plan is very important because in case any type of the setup fails, then you need to just get up timely because it's always you can just always come back to enter the trade when the timing is right again and when the sentiment is back again. Okay. All right, so before I jump to the last stop, I would appreciate if you can just like this YouTube video and also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. That will mean a lot to me. All right, let's jump to the last stock. Okay, last stock is MGRC, Malaysian Genomics. Okay, so this is a stock that I'm not very familiar with. Indeed, I only noticed this stocks probably a couple weeks ago because you can see that there is a very strong uptrend. There is definitely aggressive demand come in at about very cheap price, 25, 30 cents. We see definitely aggressive demand come in and subsequently a lot more accumulation up and eventually it just kind of break this ascending triangle. And once it has broken out of this triangle, then we see definitely there is a parabolic run up, but it did not collapse, just form a change of character. Because look at the volume right there. The volume of the down wave is relatively low, suggested that we have not really seen the manifest of the supply. So in fact, it just keep moving up further and grind up a little bit until we see a change of character. This is the largest down wave. But look at the volume again. This is not threatening. The volume is relatively low and eventually it kind of settle within this trading range. So it just bouncing up and down and tested the resistance quite a few times, attempt to break out. But like I say, because the sentiment of the market is generally not very positive. So most of the breakout tend to fail. So in this case, there is another leg down, but in here we do see that this reaction down did not go all the way back to test the swing low at about 77. It just kind of stopped at the axis line. So this is the intermediate level or the support level in the middle of the range. So kind of tested the breakout bar. So this bar is being tested at the moment and going back up and attempt to break out again. So given the sentiment at the moment, I don't really expect a breakout can be successful. But anyway, we just need to let the market to tell us. And if there's a reaction down and just in line with the broad markets, like I assume, then the first level that we can expect to see some interaction or the price bounce back up is about 1.2. So 1.2 is the first support area. If you can just kind of bounce up from here, I think that could form a relatively nice reward to risk ratio with a stop probably below about 1.12 and aim with a target at a swing high level at 1.36. However, if it just failed through, I think next logical support area is 1.06. So definitely watch out for possible buy at a support area or level for these few stocks. These are relatively good reward to risk ratio. All right, so this is MGRC. I think is definitely has some potential to trade right at the support area. Okay, so if you'd like to learn more on how to increase your winning rate or other great trading opportunities, definitely check out the video that showed on the screen right now. And do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to join my newly formed Telegram group channel for ad hoc market update, or just to join my exclusive email weekly update. And just check out the link in the description box. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon.